the NPC, the National Planning Commission, stated that education, skills transfer or skills development, as well as good employment opportunities is exactly the capability area that we need to be honing in on. So we can agree on that, yeah? And I know that yours is, education is an area that you've taken an interest in, hence the library. When I think education from a corporate perspective, I think of how they sponsor and support programs, math science programs that we are seeing actively. They support, the building of schools, the refurbishing schools. When we look at staff volunteerism programs, people are painting schools. And that's what we see when we talk corporates and education. So it's beautiful to just, hear the library establishment that you've built. I want to ask, I grew up in Venda, Limpopo. And I grew up in an area where there were more taverns and liquor stores than there were libraries. Still is the case across all of in fact, across South Africa. Can we agree?
Yeah.
And so, Leanne, my question is, the library that you are launching on Thursday, it's a pity I won't be there. I would have loved to be there. I've got another engagement. Is there plans for more of those? Because of the dire need. We spoke about the NPC and what they have cited as pivotal areas that we need to, build. Yes. Is there plans for more rollout of these libraries?
I have so much to say. First of all, I wouldn't be doing it justice if I didn't mention one of the key partners that's helping to bring this library to life. Sure. So, just reinforcing that message quickly about partnership and how all of us have our individual scopes and skill sets. Yogurt makers, waste management partners, whatever it may be. One of the partners that we've linked up with in this library launch is called the Imperial and Motus Community Trust. And we've actually gone on quite a long learning journey with them, which is talking about how to make this library that we're building impactful. And so from an Imperial and Motus perspective, what they often talk to is that maths and science are topics which are kind of falling by the wayside and are not well understood and practiced in schools. And so, Kate was just referencing some careers in waste management which are really going to leverage on maths and science, and that's unfortunately falling away for so many reasons. But if you do a deep dive as to why that is, one of the primary reasons is that literacy is falling off the radar. Sure. So if you look at ex-Deputy President Phumzile Mlambo has quoted some stats in her reading panel where she talks to 80% of grade 4 learners in South Africa cannot read for meaning.
I saw that.
And so it's actually, although we've built a library from recycled yogurt tubs, and that's something we're really proud of, it's not enough to just build and drop a library. But in fact, you have to create the forum and the moment to facilitate learning and actually teach those children how to read. And so, as part of this library donation, what happens is that a librarian gets employed and placed into the facility, plus a memorandum of understanding with the school that every learner in that school will get 30 minutes of exposure twice a week in the library with an underpinned dedicated reading program to make sure that literacy levels increase over the duration of their exposure to the library. And so therefore, hopefully we can extrapolate this impact and say literacy levels increase. Therefore, we correct this gap in maths and science understanding and analysis. And therefore, we send a bunch of new employees to Interwaste to address the waste management system. And this is how it's going to go. And so, you've said it a few times, I'm just reinforcing again, partnership is key. Number 2, you can't just drop a library. You need to invest in what it takes to bring that library to life and make sure that learners will actually benefit or change or grow as a result of that library. And that's what impact means. And to come back to the question you actually asked me, which was how many more will we build? So excitingly, this first library is launching on Thursday. We have definitely committed to a second structure coming later this year. Yay! And from there, the sky's the limit in our view. Again, reinforcing this partnership message, it's not something that Danone can do alone. But why shouldn't, if we think about authorities and regulators and the green procurement movement, why shouldn't upcycled bricks made from recycled yogurt tubs be incorporated into the buildings of schools, universities, classrooms, libraries, RDP housing to create a sustainable end-of-life solution for plastic, as well as, you know, these bricks become more readily available and more cost-effective because we're repurposing an existing material. It's something that's taking up space that can be put into a brick to build another structure. And so, you know, with the launch of this library and the second classroom, which we'll launch later in 2023, we are calling to our authorities and stakeholders. We are calling to our partners and we're saying, look at the potential. And if all of us played our role in our different subject matter topics, we could actually extrapolate this and build more and address that societal need of lack of learning centers and lack of libraries while addressing waste and literacy at the same time. It's a bit idealistic, but it's one step in the staircase to actually achieve success.